I'm a kinetic person. I'm kind of a woman in motion, so I'm going to move around a little bit. I hope that's okay. So like many of you in the room, we kind of fell into social media, right? You weren't born into it because most of it's maybe 10 or 15 years old. I mean, Twitter turned 10 last week, or this week, right? So I want to address, in the very little bit of time I have, how you as business people can better manage and get the best value out of your social media. Because is that like one of your biggest problems? Is that one of your biggest challenges? Tell me. Let one person tell me, what is your, yes, okay. I like to get some conversation. It's mine too, in my own business, and I'm supposed to be a specialist, but as both a consultant in the wine world, an author of 2 books, and a whole other platform on health and wellness, it's a lot to handle. And somewhere in that, you want to have a life, right? Right. So this presentation is going to take you through tactics to help you manage and build a better social media platform, okay? Now, that's my company. I'm not a big PowerPoint person, so I'm doing this for you guys so you can take notes. You can follow us at Connected Table, Facebook, The Connected Table, www.theconnectedtable.com. You can also find my other life at Mighty Melanie and Fearless Fabulous Melanie. And I'm putting up front now because when you meet people and you do a presentation, get that out on the table first. Because when you follow up for business, you'll want to connect with them as soon as you leave the meeting. That's the first thing. Always remember to connect. Best practices. Here are some things that I find in my own experience and working with brands is that most people don't even have a social media strategy and they don't really understand the best practices. One, keep it engaging. It's a conversation, not a pulpit. Teach, don't preach. 2, if you work with international brands or an international reason, and you're trying to market in the United States, it's got to be in English. Or if you have to, bilingual, but you need to be talking to the people in English. Very, very important. And keep it short. Most people are reading their social media on digital devices, not at a desk. So it's, they're in motion. They're probably going to like bump into a wall while reading it. So keep it short, keep it constant. It's a conversation, not an occasional comment. And be responsive if people write to you and comment about something you're saying, because again, it's a conversation. It's social, right? I'm big on, just so you know, this is going to be bullet points and lists because that's how my brain works. I'm like a list queen. I'm listful thinking, and I believe that it's easier just to get the points out. So a lot of times, companies will call me and they'll go, we need social media, we need social media. I'm like, okay, what do you need it for? What are you doing with it? What are your goals? The first thing, it's not an afterthought. It should be top of mind. It should be top of mind in every aspect of your business. Because if you're not digital, you're dead in business. So, think about it strategically. What are your goals? What do you want to get out of this? It's a big investment. How will you measure these goals so that you're not just throwing stuff out there and not getting a return on your investment of time and money? What is your social message and culture? And I'm going to dive into this a little bit more and how to position it. And really important, what do you really have time to do? What's your platform? You can't necessarily be everywhere, so pick the social media platforms that you are most comfortable with. For example, I like Facebook, I like Twitter. I like Pinterest, but it's not, it's kind of like over there. I'm diving into YouTube. I'm not video savvy yet. That's next, because that's where I want to go. You can build in stepping stones. Listen, it's either you do it yourself or you hire a pro. That's the way it works, just like a website. You do it yourself or you hire a pro. It should not be someone whose primary job is something else, and you toss this at them. It won't be as effective. Social media should be part of your marketing business budget mix, and it shouldn't be someone who's also managing a tasting room or doing PR or selling. It needs to be someone who's doing this regularly, because it's not a 9-to-5 job. Social media is all the time, and some of the highest demand and user is weekends and evenings. So it's not a 9 to 5 brain thing. That was a big one, learning to do that. Be constant and strategic with your messaging. And think before you tweet. I was at the gym this morning reading about devastating things that happen to people that say the wrong thing on Twitter, and how one chef actually lost his job, and he couldn't get work anymore because he said one thing that he suddenly was just pounced on. So think before you speak. It's social. It is a conversation, but it's a conversation with a whole lot of people that can be repeated. Be authentic. You know, think of it this way. You're having a conversation with people, and it's got to be about who you are and not what you want to be. You know, you've got to make it yours. If it's not authentic, it will be recognized as not. And this is the rule that many follow, including me, 60-20-20. Educate, inform, engage, and sell. And there are many ways to do that. I'm very big on visual, not that you can tell from the PowerPoint, but on my social I am. So if you have a product or a company, instead of thinking of it as a product or a company, think of it as a person. Who is your company or brand? Is it Melanie? Is it David? What is that? What is the personality? And who is the personality and you are talking to? What do they like? Where do they live? What are their hobbies? What are their interests? What are their concerns? That's how you're going to have a conversation with them. What makes them smile? What makes them tick? That's the kind of conversation we have. Do you like to share videos? Do you like fun photos? Do they like inspiring quotes? On my other site, Fearless Fabulous Melanie, it's about inspiration. I put up great quotes all the time. They're shared, they're inspired. But in Wine World, it may be pairing wine with food and great recipes, or congratulating chefs who've been nominated for James Beard Awards, who, you know, carry the wine in your restaurant. It's that people connection versus the product connection. All right, we talked about understanding the kind of social media they use. Are they on Twitter? Twitter's great. We'll get into that in a minute. Are they on Facebook? How do they connect with each other? That's how you want to connect with them. And like I said, understand when they're on. Maybe business people are on in the morning. They check their feeds in the morning. But people who are taking time on the weekends to check and read fun stories and trends and recipes, that's weekend. All right, we talked about giving your brand a personality. Plan like an editor. Think through your editorial calendar. It's not, I'm going to wake up today and tweet. It's like, work with your team, and say, what are 25 things that we can write about or comment on, and figure out when you want to schedule them. Take advantage of, you know, holidays, seasonal, Easter's coming up, big launches and events. You're at a trade tasting here. What did you learn that you can share on your own social media feed that was a great tip? And share that out. And don't forget to hashtag it and acknowledge where you got it. So it's not about retweeting, but it's about quoting a tweet. If you saw a great tweet, instead of just retweeting it, quote it and say, I'd like to add, or great job, and tag that person. Videos, podcasts, so popular right now, so popular, particularly with visually stimulating social media like Instagram and Twitter and YouTube. Really great. I think that we mainly use photos for all of our social media. And if we can't find a photo, we create it. We create an inspirational comment through Canva, canva.com. It's a great source to creating great visuals for free. There's a lot on the web for free, so you don't have to spend a lot of money unless you choose. Create content that draws people in. It has to engage. Again, it's not a one-way it's not a pulpit, it's a conversation. So, examples, ask questions. Ask people what they think about something and respond when they give a comment. So it's not just, yay, people responded. Comment back. Create a call to action. It could be a special offer. It could be a seasonal offer. It could be a giveaway. I'll give you an example. If you're trying to think of a giveaway and you can't obviously do wine or spirits, there's legal reasons. I've actually been talking with wine companies about giving away copies of my book, Fearless, Fabulous You. There may be wine authors. Authors have no money to spend on marketing. They get no support. The greatest thing you can do is work with an author of any book, whether it's inspirational, wine, whatever, and say, we'd love to buy a bunch of your books and we'll do a quick giveaway, promotional giveaway if you visit our site. You're offering something of value that you can't maybe give away because you're a beverage alcohol brand, but you're providing something else of value and you're collecting those names, which I want to talk about briefly. What are you doing with those names? Your website needs to have an avenue for collecting mailing list names. If you're going to throw yourself out on the World Wide Web and engage people, you need to make sure you're also collecting their information so that you can communicate with them other ways, like what you're selling. So make sure that your website is well integrated with your social media content, and that there is a reason to go to the website to provide your email address to sign up to get a great giveaway. Another idea is we did 10 tips for working, 10 great tips for working with the media if you're a wine producer. It's a free handout. You can create very easy on many sites like Canva, free booklets, free handouts that you can offer through social media. Sign up now to get this for free. Sign up to get the latest spring recipes for free. So create that kind of option. Another is a survey. Do an online survey and then spin it around and get people to respond and say, this is a great survey. Click here to get a copy of it for your use. And always, of course, put your social media and hashtags on it. There's many other ways. Loyalty building. I love a really good friend of mine in the wine business. She has organically built, her name is Rita Jamais, La Caravelle Champagne. She has organically built a great following by continually going out to the restaurants where she is selling, but also supporting and posting amazing Instagram photos of everything she is eating and commenting and sharing. And it's getting, and she's, people follow it because the photography is gorgeous, and you want to go to the restaurants, and the restaurants love her, and then they repost it, and it just keeps going. And it's been really good for her brand, too. So think about your customers and acknowledge them if you're selling at retail or restaurant. And we posted something about Chef Anita Lowe being nominated for a James Beard Award, and it went all over the place. It was just a really nice testimonial to her to thank her for the support she has done for an organization, charity work. It's amazing. Just quickly, some things to think about in terms of the platform you want to be in. Twitter is really great for news. I mean, Twitter is news, and a lot of people in the business are on Twitter. It's short. You can hook it up, and you can link it with Facebook. You can have a feed on your website. It is, the Pope is on Twitter. He's got 6 million followers now. I mean, it's good enough for the Pope. It's good enough for everybody else. And it is the fastest, but you got to be very careful about what you say on it, because we've all seen what's been happening in politics. You say one wrong thing, it can backfire. So be very strategic. You can link all of these, and we'll talk about time savers at the end, all right? Great Hootsuite, TweetDeck, you can schedule, all great. Facebook is more of a longer form. I don't really like long Facebook posts personally, but you should all have a business page and give the page a personality. Who is that page going to be, and what are they going to say? Are they going to be funny? Are they going to be inspirational? Are they going to be foodie? Are they going to be trends? Are they going to be news? Give it a personality. And use the tools. There was a great one recently. Facebook offered free videos. It was awesome. So use the tools and create call to actions. The visual ones, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, great for posting photos. Again, you can integrate all of these, which I'm going to talk about shortly, and post visual. The younger the audience, the more visuals they like. But use quality photos also. LinkedIn is really business networking. It is great for doing surveys and blogs. You can do blogs frequently on these. So I suggest this one for connecting with people in the industry. Here's a to-do list. Okay, how do you stay on top of this? These are some things I suggest to build your followers, okay? Instagram. Find 50 new people to follow on Instagram, post a daily photo, comment and favorite 10 photos. This is how you manage your time, whether your time or whoever you're signing. Twitter, find 50 new people or brands to follow, post a daily tweet, quote, favorite somebody else's, create the conversation. Facebook, invite 50 people to like your page, post one photo with a comment daily, ask a question. This is like portion controlling your diet, right? LinkedIn, same thing. Share news, trends, what you're doing, where you're going. You were just here, what did you learn? Smart tactics, because you don't have the time. Get everything linked. Link in your Instagram, link in your Twitter. They all can be integrated, and schedule. On Fridays, we will sit down and schedule a week's worth of posts. We're posting right now as we speak about our radio show today. We don't have time to post every day. We schedule. There are wonderful resources, and I can provide more, like Crowdfire, TweetDeck, Hootsuite, Facebook pages. You can schedule. And then if you don't have the time, delegate. Make it somebody's job and responsibility, but don't just throw them out there to do it themselves. Work with them. This is the face of your company and the voice of your brand. Use it wisely, because it will deliver a lot. You've seen amazing stories. If you don't have enough followers, affiliate. Go to some of the sites and say, can we work with you on cross-promotion? We do that a lot through our radio show. It's awesome. It builds followers. And finally, use social media management tools to save you time. Once you do all that and you get into the rhythm of it, it will be effective. You can use analytics to measure your success. And remember, if something isn't working, you can always change the voice and start afresh, but just don't be silent. Okay. I think we're at the end. These are all my connections.